Welcome to my channel stream of wisdom. I want to start with a question that might sting a little. Have you ever felt her slipping away even while she's still saying all the right words? That quiet fear in your chest? That unsettling sense that the distance between you isn't just physical anymore, comes from a place men rarely talk about. And if you've clicked this video, it means you're tired of guessing, tired of feeling powerless, and ready to understand what truly makes a woman miss you on a level that stays with her even miles apart. Before we dive in, take a second to subscribe and like this video because what I'm about to tell you can shift the entire dynamic of your long-distance relationship in a way most men never learn. Let me speak to you the way I'd speak to a client sitting right in front of me. In long-distance relationships, missing someone isn't just natural, it's essential. But here's the painful truth. Missing someone doesn't happen because you message her nonstop or try to fill every silence with reassurance. It happens when a woman feels your presence even when you're not there, and fears losing the emotional experience only you create. Women don't miss men who are constantly available, predictable, or emotionally scattered. They miss men who awaken something inside them. Stability, curiosity, safety, mystery, admiration, or that subtle rush of anticipation. Most men think effort equals connection, so they over-explain, overact, over-apologize, over-invest. They try to shrink the distance with constant communication, but in reality, that actually numbs the very longing they want her to feel. Emotional distance doesn't come from miles, it comes from imbalance. A woman stops missing you the moment she feels you're orbiting around her, instead of living your own grounded, meaningful life. If you want her to miss you deeply, you need to create a rhythm that pulls her toward you rather than pushes her away. A presence she can rely on but not cling to. A man she feels connected to but never fully has. That duality, security, and intrigue lights up a woman's attachment patterns in a powerful way. And distance doesn't weaken that, it amplifies it. When a woman truly misses you, her thoughts start wandering toward you without effort. She wonders what you're doing. She rereads your messages. She imagines the next call. She waits for your voice. Missing you becomes a part of her emotional routine. And that happens when you understand how to shape the connection, not through pressure, but through presence. Now let's get real about what most men don't understand about absence. Many think that if they disappear for a while, she'll automatically chase them. That's a dangerous misconception. Absence only creates longing when it's paired with emotional value, something she can't get anywhere else. If she doesn't associate you with intense emotional experiences, meaningful conversations, or the feeling of being seen, then your silence becomes nothing more than empty space. She won't miss you, she'll forget you. That's the harsh truth. So, how do you create that emotional value from a distance? First, you have to elevate your own life. Women miss men who are growing, evolving, and living fully, even when they're apart. If your world shrinks to just the screen between you and her, she will feel it, and it kills attraction. Share glimpses of your life that make her curious, proud, or intrigued. A short story about something exciting you did today, a victory, a challenge you overcame. These moments make her see you as someone she can't ignore. She'll start to anticipate your updates because she knows they're not just filler. They're an insight into the life she wants to be a part of. Next, you need to create emotional peaks in your conversations. Don't settle for mundane "how was your day" texts. Ask questions that make her reflect, laugh, or feel connected to the real you. Encourage her to share her dreams, frustrations, and vulnerabilities, and respond in a way that makes her feel heard, understood, and admired. When you do this consistently, your interactions become the highlight of her day. And here's the subtle trick. After an intense conversation, pause. Step back. Don't immediately follow up. Give her space to feel the emotional residue of your connection. This is what makes her mind wander to you when you're not around. Another layer is unpredictability. Small surprises that break routine. A voice note in the middle of the day, a spontaneous call, or even a handwritten letter can do wonders. It's not about grand gestures. It's about making her feel your presence in ways she doesn't expect. That unpredictability triggers the subconscious part of her mind that remembers emotional highs, and the brain associates you with excitement, curiosity, and emotional satisfaction. That's the science behind her missing you. You don't need to chase her. You need her to want you in the spaces between contact. When executed thoughtfully, these strategies make distance an ally, not a barrier. She starts to experience you as indispensable in her emotional world, and suddenly the miles between you don't feel like a separation. They feel like a build-up to the next meaningful connection. Let's talk about the subtle art that most men completely overlook: strategic unavailability. This doesn't mean playing childish games or ignoring her for days on end. It means creating a magnetic presence while maintaining boundaries. Women don't miss someone who is always there. They miss someone who makes them feel the absence in a way that matters. The trick is to be emotionally present when you connect and intentionally absent when you need to focus on your own life. This contrast creates tension, a healthy tension that fuels desire. You've probably noticed it in real life. Think about someone who captivates you. It's rarely the person who's predictable, who always says yes, or who is constantly in reach. It's the person whose presence feels meaningful and whose absence leaves an impression. That's what you need to cultivate. When you pull back just enough, she begins to measure your value, not by how much time you spend together, but by how deeply she feels your impact. When you're there, she starts replaying moments, craving conversations, and imagining your next interaction. That longing is not manipulation. It's emotional chemistry. Another overlooked factor is confidence in your self-worth. Men who desperately seek attention over text often push a woman away without realizing it. When you live a life where your happiness doesn't hinge on immediate validation from her, you exude security and emotional stability. This stability is magnetic. A woman misses a man who is grounded, who navigates life with purpose, and who isn't frantic to fill every silence with words. That calm, self-assured energy, especially in a long-distance context, makes her mind wander toward you, even when she's busy or stressed. Timing also plays a critical role. Initiate contact after meaningful events or emotional experiences in your life. Text her not as a habit, but as a highlight of your day that she needs to hear. Avoid drowning her in constant chatter. Instead, make each message, call, or voice note count. Quality always outweighs quantity. The human brain remembers emotional impact far longer than it remembers endless, mundane exchanges. When she reflects on her day, she thinks of you, not just because you exist, but because your presence left a lingering emotional echo. Finally, remember that missing someone is a feeling, not a logic. It's cultivated subtly through emotional resonance, consistency, and a carefully balanced distance that keeps her intrigued. You don't force her to miss you. You orchestrate an environment where missing you becomes inevitable. And once she reaches that point, every call, every message, every interaction is infused with anticipation, desire, and emotional depth. That is the power of presence combined with strategic absence. Now, let's address one of the most powerful yet underused tools in long-distance relationships: memory triggers. These are small, intentional reminders of your presence that lodge in her subconscious and make her miss you without even realizing it. A memory trigger can be anything: a shared inside joke, a song, a scent, or even a simple phrase you use only with her. The goal is to create emotional associations that she can recall when you're not around. This is where distance transforms from a challenge into a psychological advantage. Think about it. When she hears a song you once listened to together, or when she smells something familiar from a visit, her mind automatically drifts to you. She doesn't consciously decide to miss you. It happens naturally. But to leverage this, you must have intentionally embedded these triggers in your interactions. Drop subtle hints, reference special moments, and make your shared experiences memorable. The deeper the emotional imprint you leave, the more she carries you with her throughout her day. Another crucial strategy is the art of emotional storytelling. When you communicate with her, don't just relay facts about your day. Paint pictures with your words. Describe how something made you feel, what you thought in that moment, and how it connects to your personal growth or perspective on life. When a woman senses the emotional depth behind your words, she internalizes them. She will remember the feeling you invoked more vividly than the event itself. That is the emotional resonance that turns simple conversations into lasting impressions. Equally important is the concept of selective sharing. You don't need to narrate every thought or activity. Instead, create anticipation by sharing meaningful pieces of your life while withholding others. This isn't manipulation. It's about creating a rhythm that keeps her curious and emotionally invested. When she senses that there's more to learn about you, she starts imagining what she doesn't know. And in that imagination, she misses you. Curiosity combined with emotional impact is a potent formula that no constant texting or over-communication can replace. Finally, reinforce these memory triggers with consistency. Revisit shared jokes, reference past conversations, and remind her subtly of the emotions only you can evoke. Over time, these triggers compound. She begins to feel your presence in the spaces between your interactions, thinking of you at moments she can't control. That's when absence becomes your ally. Distance no longer feels like a barrier. It becomes a force that strengthens her longing, her emotional attachment, and her desire to be with you. In long-distance relationships, this is the key difference between a connection that fades and one that grows stronger with time. Now, let's talk about a dynamic that most men completely miss: emotional reciprocity. Women don't miss someone just for being absent. They miss someone who consistently gives them an emotional experience they can't replicate anywhere else. If your interactions are flat, predictable, or transactional, distance becomes meaningless. She won't long for you. She'll forget you. But when every interaction with you leaves her feeling understood, admired, or exhilarated, she begins to crave your presence, even when you're not there. Start by creating emotional highs. These aren't over-the-top romantic gestures. They're moments that make her feel alive, validated or uniquely seen. Compliment her intellect. Acknowledge her struggles and celebrate her victories. Show curiosity about her thoughts and dreams in a way that few others do. When you do this consistently, she begins to associate you with intense, positive emotional states. And here's the key. After creating these highs, step back, let her reflect, let her feel the emotional residue, and let that longing grow organically. Next, leverage anticipation. Humans are wired to crave what is slightly out of reach. If you always respond instantly, she never experiences that thrill of wondering when or how you'll reach out. Instead, cultivate timing that feels intentional. Text after meaningful moments. Send a voice note that captures a fleeting thought, or schedule a call she can look forward to. Each interaction should feel like a gift, not a habit. When she anticipates your presence, the emotional tension of missing you becomes addictive in the healthiest way. Another often overlooked factor is authentic vulnerability. Share glimpses of your real self, your fears, ambitions, or moments of reflection. Vulnerability signals trust, which deepens attachment. When she sees your authentic side, she feels emotionally connected. And distance doesn't weaken this bond, it amplifies it. She starts replaying your words, imagining your expressions, and longing for your presence because she's not just attracted to who you are on the surface, but to the depth she glimpses behind it. Finally, reinforce these emotional experiences with subtle reminders of your uniqueness. Reference shared jokes, inside stories, or memories that only the two of you understand. These cues strengthen her emotional recall and make your absence feel palpable. Over time, she doesn't just miss you physically, she misses the way you make her feel. That's when a long-distance relationship transforms from frustrating to magnetic. By mastering emotional reciprocity, anticipation, and authentic connection, you ensure she doesn't just wait for you. She longs for you, thinks of you, and carries you with her even when miles separate you. Now, let's bring everything together and talk about the ultimate secret to making her miss you in a long-distance ants relationship. Creating an emotional ecosystem where you become indispensable, not just in her life, but in her mind. This isn't about manipulation, texts, or constant calls. It's about shaping a presence she feels even when you're not there. So, absence itself becomes a magnet drawing her back to you. The first layer is emotional consistency. Be a man whose energy she can rely on. When she talks to you, she should feel heard, understood, and admired. When she doesn't, she should notice your absence. This balance between availability and independence builds respect and longing simultaneously. Women are wired to miss men who make them feel safe emotionally, yet leave them curious. If you're constantly reacting to her moods, the emotional value disappears. Stability in yourself creates desire in her. Next is emotional peaks and valleys. Life isn't constant, and your connection shouldn't be either. Deliver moments that make her laugh, think deeply, or feel profoundly connected. After these peaks, step back to let the emotional energy settle. This gives her brain space to replay those moments, associate them with you, and naturally create longing. It's like leaving footprints in the sand. She retraces them, even when you're gone. Another critical piece is strategic absence, reinforced by memory triggers. Remind her subtly of moments only the two of you share, inside jokes, shared dreams, and unique experiences. When she recalls these moments while alone, she experiences the same warmth, joy, or excitement she felt with you. That emotional recall is the core of missing someone. Physical distance amplifies it, but only if you've built emotional depth first. Finally, own your life fully. Pursue your goals, cultivate passions, and live a life that excites you. The more fulfilled you are, the more magnetic you become. Women miss men who are alive, evolving, and captivating. Your absence, then, isn't emptiness. It's a space filled with curiosity, admiration, and anticipation. She doesn't just wait for you, she longs for the man you are becoming. So, here's the truth. Most men never grasp. Missing you isn't about manipulation, endless messages, or games. It's about presence, emotional resonance, anticipation, and the subtle art of being unforgettable. When done right, distance becomes your greatest ally. She thinks about you, she imagines you, she misses you, not just physically, but in her heart and mind. That's the mastery of long distance. Thanks for watching. If you found this video, please press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel stream of wisdom. Thank you.